I didn't punch anybody. I didn't launder any money. I didn't throw a drink on anybody. He just got pissed off that I tried to show him in line by him not giving me my cash.
You have commercials out. This is my money. I want it now.
Isn't that ridiculous? I'm going to turn it over to Woodley. Edge is an investment that we made when it was one guy in a bedroom, and he inadvertently realized he had created a banking service for gamblers. I, as always, am with my brother, Mr. Derek Brooks.
What's up, brother?
I'm with another good friend, Dave Woodley. We're going to introduce in a second. But
do
you know how Derek Brooks introduces himself when he gets invited to like a fantasy sports contest?
Let's take a guess.
You've told me this before. I forget the.
Do you know how I introduce myself when I get invited to one of Derek Brooks' celebrity events?
Is it brother from another mother?
Yeah, we say that,
Yeah.
but Derek Brooks, how do you introduce yourself? You're at a fantasy sports event. You say, hey.
I walk in, and I clearly, in the middle of the room, when they ask, I say, I'm the Black Paul Martino.
Yeah, that's right. I think, Woodley, I'm telling you, you have something you could learn from Derek Brooks is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm with David Woodley. David Woodley is one of my degenerate gambling buddies. Him and I have been involved in some of the earliest stage, coolest things that have ever happened at the intersection of sports, gaming, and He's consulting and advising to a bunch of companies.
I stay busy.
Tell Brooks what Speed Survivor is. Only a degenerate would come up with this.
I'm interested.
Tell him what Speed Survivor is.
You know what a survivor pool is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Speed Survivor is all the fun of a survivor pool, but takes place within one game, right? Because the worst part about a survivor pool is when you lose and you have to wait another 10 months, right, to get back in that, and that sort of lotto ticket to win a bunch of money. So we effectively take any sporting event, we break it up into 12 to 15 rounds based on time of a game. So the first 5 minutes of a game will be one round. Okay. We shoot you a text or you open an app. We say, hey, it'll be a question that has two answers. Who's going to score more points in the first 5 minutes? Timberwolves, Golden State, or tie. You get it. You move on. If not, you're out. You can go from 10,000 down to 1 by the end of like 95% of sporting events. You can do player props. You can do team scores, all sorts of good stuff. So yeah, we'll be launching that fully for NFL this year. But it's been good. It's been fun. I mean, it's pretty. Paul likes it. I remember what Paul said when we first met.
I want to clarify who actually likes it. Okay, so I'm one of the beta testers of the product, and there's no money involved, and it's all just beta test. Right. And when I say I'm the beta tester, what that means, I give my phone to my son Zach. So Zach is a big fan of Speed Survivor because he has been my beta tester, and he's like, Daddy, I've only 5 minutes. It's really funny. There is a psychological aspect to what happens. So it's not just it's a survivor pool. There is a real urgency because if you don't get your entry in those 5 minutes, you're also out.
Wow.
And so it's been fun to kind of watch. Now, granted, my 14-year-old son is not the target audience, and no, there's no money involved yet, et cetera. But watching the psychology of it was fascinating.
Yeah.
That's what Speed Survivor
Well,
was.
and one of the cool things there too is like, I think Paul can relate to this. Is like when FanDuel first came around, it was a DFS company, right? When it was like player versus player, there's like this excitement there, right? Like this idea that anybody could put in $100 and like win that $1 million, right?
Right.
Now over time, I think like the player versus player DFS model has gotten it's tough to beat. I used to be pretty good at it, but I can't keep up. It's all sims and models and everything now. We've kind of almost like it's almost like a throwback here with Speed Survivor, right? Where there is a lot of game theory involved. Like the sort of sharpest of the sharp are probably going to do pretty well over time. But it's also a game that in a in a one game sample size with a ton of variance, a beginner can like really come in there and put in $20 and win $5K, $50K, $100K in some aspects. Like when we've been doing these beta tests, I mean it's crazy. Like the beauty about it is it does have that kind of variance that gives everybody a chance. And I don't know. I mean I kind of hark it back to even the first poker, like the moneymaker effect, right? Like
yeah, that's right. Look, no one's setting line yet on the middle 5 minutes of a football game.
Yep.
Right.
No one has a model for that. Right. Nobody's setting line on it. So Woodley, let's talk about Edge. Let me break out you got one of these. Now let's go shame Brooks for not having one of these, but Brooks is going to get one of these. We're going to get him one. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. See? Get a little FOMO, fear of missing out right here.
I had
I'm going to tell you
AAA card.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you got there?
That's it. So,
Let me see your AARP card too, there,
yeah,
Brooks.
that's in there
You
somewhere.
got that one?
Wait, how old do you have to be to
Yeah,
do
I think you got to be
ARA?
50.
55.
See, I'm
No.
not there.
No, you're not. Oh, you aren't.
No, AAA.
You're younger than me. I forgot that.
Yeah. I mean, we're brothers, but
I mean,
you don't have to remember my birthday.
yeah, no, I forget his birthday.
Mom does, though.
Yeah, I know. Mom never forgets.
Shame on
Anyway,
you.
all right. So look, I'm going to tell you about this, and I know this is going to sound like an advertisement, but I'm going to tell you a really important story first. Did you know that I am currently banned at all MGM casinos?
I was wondering if you
Did you
picture.
know that? Let me tell you why I'm banned at all MGM casinos. I'm going to tell you the story first, and then I'm going to tell you why this card in my pocket, if I had that card in my pocket, I would not be banned at all MGM casinos. This is a true story. About a year ago, Richard Blankenship, who runs Dream Ventures, invited me to come hang out with him in Vegas. Dream Ventures is actually thinking about investing in Edge, right? Dream is an investor in a lot of gaming, fantasy stuff. His girlfriend is Carrie Katz's daughter. Carrie Katz created Poker Go, is the billionaire visionary behind Poker Go. The Poker Go studios at the Aria is his invention. I was on a bender. I won a lot of money this weekend. I mean, I was hot. Everywhere I went, I won. And it's the end of the weekend, and it's Saturday night. He's like, Paul, I want you to meet a friend of mine named Anton. All right, meet your friend Anton. All right, great. I'm like, well, I got a 6 a.m. flight. I want to get the hell out of here. No, Paul, come meet me at the Nobu Hotel. By the way, who knew that there was a Nobu Hotel? By the way, it's not really a Nobu Hotel. It's bullshit. They just branded one of the towers at Caesars as the Nobu Hotel, and it's just really one of the towers at Caesars. And Anton is sitting there, and it's just me and Anton. It's my analyst, a guy named Alec, and this guy, he's just playing on his computer. Literally, I don't think he looks up from his computer for like, he's just staring at his computer. And thinking to myself, I'm like, Richard, I kind of want to go gamble. Paul, I want you to meet Anton. So I finally meet Anton. So I ask Anton, what are you doing? He's like, you're Richard's friend. I want you to hear this. And so he starts playing me a remix of the song Fireflies from a couple years. Remember that song, Fireflies? Pretty cool remix. I say, I want you to be my guest tonight. I was like, be your guest tonight? I want to literally cash in my chips and I want to go to bed. So he's like, well, yeah, I want you to come with me to Omnia. I was like, well, okay, Omnia, well, that's one of the nightclubs. That's actually the hardest nightclub to get into in Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. So it turns out Anton is Zed, as in the famous EDM DJ. And he's going to debut his remix. And I'm going to be in the DJ booth with him.
With you by his side.
Because that's Richard's little present to me. I'm like, holy shit, well, I can't say no to that.
So you were winning.
Like, I'm like, I
Always
can't.
through.
Anyway, so I'm in the DJ booth. It's super cool being in the DJ booth. 2,000 people there. And he's literally showing me how shit works while he's doing his set. I mean, the dude is a geek. Like, I say that with great. Anyway, 4 o'clock in the morning, I got a flight to go get. I know this is going to get to how I got banned at MGM. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on? So I got a flight at like 6 a.m. It's 4 in the morning. I'm leaving. And by the way, Anton says to me and Alec afterwards, he's like, dude, don't leave yet. Come play video games at my house. He wanted us to play video games at his house at 4 o'clock that night. So I go to the Aria where I'm staying. And I got all my poker chips on me. And I got all my other chips. And so I get in line and I ask for it all in money. And it's a lot of money. Like, it's a big win. And the person behind the counter says, no, sir, we're not going to give you all that money. I said, we can reverse a wire. I was like, I have a flight to catch in like 20 minutes. It's Sunday morning. There's no wires going to work here. Yeah. Guy behind the desks comes over. He's like, starts giving me a little bit of shit. And I was like, look, I know the rules in Nevada. Like, this is a reasonable request. Yeah. I have been regulated at points in my career in the state. You cannot refuse this request. Guy, boss, overrules the person, says, I can do whatever I want. I don't think much of it. 48 hours later, I get a note from the MGM casino that says, you are no longer welcome at any of our casinos. By the way, and I got the real ban, right? There's a ban where you cannot be able to game. I got you can't even come into the restaurant at any of our hotels. This includes Borgata in Atlantic City. This includes the Aria. This includes the MGM Grand. So I am banned from entry to any of those casinos because I pissed off this guy behind the desk. So I found out who the guy behind the desk was. It's the head of compliance. And he's under investigation for some things that happened in the casino, and now he's trying to act tough on crime. You know what the irony is, being that I'm on this show with my brother, Derek Brooks? Remember our other brother, Steven? Spells his name with the PH, Stephen, Steven Martino?
Yes.
Our other brother?
Yes.
Would you believe it? This guy's name from the MGM, his name is Steven Martino. That is literally the guy's name. You
Blasphemy.
cannot make this up.
It's blasphemy.
And so he unilaterally banned me. And as far as I'm concerned, I've investigated the matter. It was because he didn't like the way I talked to him that night. I didn't punch anybody. I didn't launder any money. I didn't throw a drink on anybody. He just got pissed off that I tried to show him in line by him not giving me my cash.
It's unbelievable. I mean, they have commercials out. This is my money. I want it now.
Isn't that ridiculous? I'm going to turn it over to Woodley.
Oof,
So
on the spot.
Edge is an investment that we made when it was one guy in a bedroom trying to extend sports betting credit. And he inadvertently realized he had created a banking service for gamblers. All right, Woodley, what would I have done different that night if I had had that Edge card in my pocket?
If you would have had the Edge card in your pocket, you would have. You wouldn't have had to wire any money to the casino. You wouldn't have had to show up with any money to the casino, right? And like I've seen you game. Like you're not just putting $100 on the table, stuff like that, right? Like getting cash into the casino is difficult. What you would have done is you would have taken the Edge card. You would have went to the cage or you went to kiosk. It doesn't really matter. And you could have pulled up to $250K cash with pretty much no fees. No cash advance fee, none of that. Don't have to wait on the wire, especially if it's 2 a.m, stuff like that. And then, let's say you pull 100K out. You go and you run that up to 300K. You go back to the cage. You hand them the card. They put it back on your card. It's in your bank. It's in your Edge bank account instantly, and you got it.
That woman behind the counter wouldn't have said, "Can I get your wire information?" I would have handed her my card. She would have loaded the money on the card, and I would have left.
All right, let me see this.
And how cool is that?
They swipe the card, check your
you
ID.
need
Yep.
one of them, don't
Yeah.
you?
I do.
Because you can take the money in and out
has
of the
his
casino.
name on it.
Yeah, you
Go
can
figure.
you take the money in and out of the casino. And
You want his, you don't want mine.
Well, but yeah, so if I had had that Edge card, it would have completely solved the problem. Now let me tell you what to me is the funniest part about Edge. Edge started as a company to try and extend sports betting credit, literally like a deposit match. You do a $100 bet on FanDuel, we'll match you up to another $100. A week after launch, Senny, the CEO, calls me up and says, "Paul, everybody's putting $250,000 on their card. What's going on?" Literally, he was confused because that's not what he built the company for. I said, "Senny, you accidentally created the banking card for gamblers. If you're a high-stakes poker player and you need to move 250 grand from one casino to another, you solved a huge problem for that guy." Yeah. He's like, "Holy shit." I'm like, so I love that. There's a real serendipity in what had happened. And I sat there and I said, boy, if I had this card 6 months ago, I'd be allowed to go to the damn Aria. Now, let me tell you why I'm pissed off at not being able to go to the Aria. We're going to be filming this summer. Yeah. We're going to be filming the Inside Game podcast this summer at NBA Summer League. The best place to stay when you're at NBA Summer League is Aria. I'm not allowed in the goddamn place.
That's where I stay. Yeah. Hey, we met there. We met up there. Remember, you were like, "Are you in Vegas?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in Vegas. Where are you staying?" "Aria." "Me too." We met up in the lobby. Yeah. That's going to be tough.
Now, where are we gonna meet? Maybe we'll go to Circus Circus.
I like Circus.
Circus. Yeah.
They're knocking it down.
When's a good spot though? When's a good
up
spot?
north because the games are up at UNLV.
Thomas and Matt.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out where I'm gonna stay. I can stay at the Wynn. I can stay at all the Caesars. Where I'm still okay at Caesars, but no Aria, Brooks. We're gonna have a logistical problem with this.
I think we do a disguise.
Nope.
No, they got that.
Their facial rec is. So people have asked me that. They're like, "Paul, come on, dude. Just come on. They're never gonna know." No, dude. I guarantee you, I would not last 5 minutes in any one of those casinos. Their facial rec is so good now.
He's on like the real like list, like the ones where it's like the self-exclude lists and stuff. Like they don't. Those people sneak in all the time, right? But they're self-exclude, so like they know they'll get them when they try to like cash in or whatever. Yeah, it's like I don't know.
But when you get on the double secret summation, like I guarantee, there's a part of me that does want to walk in to see how long it takes, just out of curiosity. But that would then harm getting back. Like it's bad for business to not be able to be into those casinos.
It would require a takedown.
Yeah.
You'd have to be taken down.
It might actually hurt. Yeah.
You'd have to be taken down.
Yeah.
And dragged away.
Brooks, I like your version of security. I don't want Brooks running security at my casino.
No, it's like, well, Maybe you do actually if it's your casino.
See him walking in all happy with his edge card. All right, wait until he pulls it out. Take him down now. Take him down now.
It's funny you mentioned the poker thing and all that as well, because it's not even just for the like the high stakes players like the poker guys or Paul when he banks up the casino after a good run. It's such.
Why do they get mad about that? I mean, they should like that.
It's good because it gives everyone like cash access there too. I mean, you've played poker before, like with friends, and like we were down in Rivers in Philly a couple months ago with Helmuth and these guys, and we're all playing. It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
One of our friends, Brandon Cantu, like ran out of money or whatever, and like you hit your ATM limit, you hit your limits at the casino so quick. And then, as you know, like even if someone just needs $1,000, like they're sitting there like borrowing from a friend and all that, you're like tracking it, all this. Like with the Edge, you can just take it up there, swipe it, get your $1,000, and like not have to worry about it at the end of the night.
My favorite game at the casino is Pai Gow is my favorite game to play.
Oh, I forgot this.
But my favorite game to play in actual poker is called Badoogie. You ever play Badoogie? No. Now Badoogie is a pretty exotic game. I was in the Badoogie big tournament at the World Series of Poker. Cantu was as well. We were in the final table, he made it to the final table. I think he got knocked out 5th. I was in like the final 2 tables, and there's I don't know, 1,000 people entered, 500 people entered, and when there was about 20 people to go, me and Cantu were the 2 biggest chip stacks. It's the closest I ever came to winning a World Series of Poker event, and I just got coolered one hand after another over that next hour. But I really felt like I had a shot at that one. And then Cantu, he also really felt like he had a shot too, because he had the chip lead with probably like 5 or 6 people to go, and he just donked off all the chips. It's just how it goes sometimes, Brooks.
Wow. It would have been a good one. We were backing him. last year. He came like 20th or 27th in the main event last year too.
Oh,
he had a hell of a run.
He had a hell of a year. Yeah. He had a hell of a year. And look, I play in 2 or 3 events a year. He plays in a lot more events than that. But it was a shame because I really felt like both of us really had it in us for that year. And that's the one. If there's one bracelet I want to win, it's at that one game. Because it's the stupid game nobody else knows, Brooks. I'm excited about. Both got our edge cards. We're going to sign Brooks up for one. And,
please, I feel like.
And whatever casino you go into. But listen, you're going to show your athlete buddies. Your athlete buddies, they have this problem. Oh, Mr. Brooks, can you help me set up my wire? Can you get my money? But you're going to be like, just get an edge card. Yeah. Literally, just get an edge card. Just show up to the casino.
Done. What's crazy is even where they're not partnering with yet, right? I mean, the product's only like it's been live effectively for like 4 months, like public, right? So
and they don't even need an integration with the casino.
Yeah, you don't even need it. Like I was down, he sent me to Philly, and I was trying all the Philly casinos, and like they've never heard of Edge, right? Like, and they will, but you just go to the kiosk, you do it was like debit with PIN or whatever, and you could pull like you could pull up to 250K, but at this kiosk you could pull like 5K a pull basically. Yeah. Do it, you get the slip, you go up there, you give them the card, the ID. And
it's like having an ATM with a 250 grand limit.
Yeah, less than.
It's very different than a regular ATM card.
I will tell you, none of the athletes know about this yet. We're going to break this. This is going to be huge.
This is going to be part of your financial literacy program for your NBA celebrities.
Awesome. Yes.
They need an edge card.
And I'll say, everyone turn in your edge card.
Well, you can set limits on it too. I mean, that's kind of like the nice.
Well, there's a responsible gambling part of it. Senny, the CEO, has been very smart about that. But you know, one of Brooks's jobs every year. You know who Brooks?
You told me that. Yeah.
I described this to some people. Brooks is the guy they bring in at the NBA to tell all the players not to invest in their brother's car wash. He's the guy. He's the guy who gives them a little financial literacy 101 speech. I want to watch it one year. Do you think I could? You think Adam would let me in to just sit in the cheap seats at one of the rookie days while you give the speech?
Heckler's row.
Oh, I'd love that.
He has no clue what he's talking
about. Mr. Brooks. I would love to be in the room for that one.
When you're looking out and you see people just blatantly sleeping, it's good.
So do you have to stay on top of all like the new like get rich quick stuff as well, like the crypto stuff and the NFT stuff, and like do you have to like tell these guys to like just like?
Well, you tell them to be careful, right? Like we tell all rookies to be careful in what they invest in, but also you're not allowed to set up who determines their financial yes or no. So they set up their own people. You just try to set them up with the right people. Mm-hmm. Who understand everything that's happening and all the new terms. Now, there's always going to be stuff that slips through the cracks. It's the greatest thing ever, the newest thing on the market. But once that one person falls on it, no one else should too as well. No one should fall for the same trick twice.
Well, it's good because it's very susceptible. I mean, they got to just be like the biggest targets on their head too. I mean, you're talking about like 19-year-old kids coming into just a ton of money.
Well, specifically, where we're going in the summer in July for Summer League is the first real foray into having money and having access to spending that money in large quantities in Vegas, so you can gamble.
Vegas, this is a good place to go.
It's a very good place to use your Edge card, which I was going to ask.
He's a spokesman. He doesn't even have one. I love this.
I'm trying to get one.
God, isn't
this how you get an Edge card?
We'll get it right out to you. Yeah.
You get one by you keep talking about it. You start speaking into
we will
existence.
give you pause, actually.
That sounds good.
He's gonna turn it off.
No, Brooks. Listen. You got the same last name, Brooks. It doesn't matter, right?
That's true.
Brooks and Martino. They just spelled a little different. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Nearsighted.
I don't understand why mom got two last names. I never understood that.
Two halves. She just
Yeah.
living double lives.
I understand. Yeah. That's something there's things about our family we just don't talk about a lot.
Living
Woodley.
a double life.
Just some things that just don't, you just can't talk about. All right, Woodley, you get the last word though. So what's up next, man? What do you got? You got Speed Survivor. I know you've been helping my buddy Senny out. You always got the next gambling thing going on. What should me and Brooks be on the lookout for?
I think we spend a lot of time on Edge in the next couple of years. I mean, it's like they're sponsoring the World Series of Poker this year. I'll be out there quite a bit.
How good's that going to be?
We're going to be all over there. I mean, it's going to by the time this airs, I mean, it'll be all over the place. But we're fixing like a problem out there, which is like signing up for a tournament at the World Series of Poker is like archaic and like a nightmare, right? They're finally getting off Bravo Poker. They announced it today.
That's good.
To this new platform. So a lot of that, but no, I think you're going to see kind of Edge everywhere over the next couple of years, and then Speed Survivor launches there as well, and then we just had our third kid 2 weeks ago, so like I'm busy, man. It's like
Well, you got your own news. You got your third startup.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to raise a girl now, so that's
Third startup at home.
It's good.
By the way, how crazy is this? Edge is going to sponsor a Kiss Me event in France this year. Like you talk about my worlds overlapping because Kiss Me is a high-end luxury, nightlife experience. And I was telling Senny about it, the CEO. He's like, "Yeah, that's exactly my customer." Wow. And so all the worlds colliding all at once, Brooks.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually crazy because we've actually kind of taken this spin, a different kind of marketing, go-to-market strategy with Edge that nobody else really has done, right? I mean,
right.
What we found is like it's actually a great product, and the biggest complaint is people think it's too good to be true, right? They're like, why is this costing me nothing? Why am I able to get this cash here? Why are they giving me money back on online gaming, right? Like, how do they do this, right? And we kind of walk them through the business model, and they see it. But we're like, you know what? Like, we're catering to a pretty, like, great demographic user, all this, right? So we've done a lot of like direct one-on-one outreach. We've been getting like suites at Yankee game, Met games, like courting like VIPs, potential VIPs. Like Senny was just down. We're all over the country. Senny was down at F1 this week. He's going to be at the Kiss Me event. So we're almost I mean, what's going to be cool with Edge when you look back, it's almost going to be like what the Centurion card was, and almost like a mix between Centurion card and then like what Red Bull did, right? I mean, if you look at what Red Bull did marketing-wise, it's crazy. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be seeing mass market ads on the opening week the way FanDuel and DraftKings bashed each other's skulls in back in the day. It's going to be a very different go-to-market.
The Speed Survivor. Are you getting a kickback from the leagues? Because when you have people watching, we just talked about this the other day, typically with today's generation, they aren't watching the game at all, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And now with the addition of Speed Survivor, you have to watch the game.
Excellent point, Brooks.
Right?
Leagues are going to love leagues. I don't know they'll ever give him a kickback.
No, they won't.
They're going to love his product.
Well, you know who's
going to love his product.
You know who's going to love it though is like this whole and correct me if I'm wrong because you may have a different opinion on it, but in the infancy of sports betting, like there was so much talk about Americans are going to love live betting, micro betting, and there's companies out there that do micro betting, which is just live betting. Americans haven't really done it, right? Because there's some issues there, but like they've really gravitated for parlays and single game parlays, and like the books love it because the hold's great. But there's still this like in-game markets that nobody does, and part of it is a little bit of it, I think, is because of latency, right? Like it's hard to bet on a game when you're watching it at home and there's like a minute delay, and then it's also like it's hard to keep track of it, and it also I think can lead to some problem gaming. Like it's a really good way to like chase losses, right? Like you're just betting it live throughout a game. I actually think Speed Survivor ends up being like the micro betting solution for people, right? Because it is like every 5 minutes you are on the app constantly or you're texting back constantly. You have to watch the game to be participating, but at the same time, you're not like when you lose, you're not rebuying right away. Like you enter before the contest. Right. If you're out, you wait till the next game, right? Or you wait till halftime and do another one. So I think we're going to find actually a really nice market there. To kind of hit the micro betting side, because nobody's really nailed micro betting yet. It's big in Europe, right, with soccer. But
It's never happened in the U.S.
Yeah, it's never happened. So,
Brooks, that was a good last question. I want to thank Dave Woodley for coming on the program. As always, on behalf of my brother from another mother, Derek Brooks, this is the inside game. We gave you the inside scoop. Got to talk about Edge, got to talk about Speed Survivor, and even got to talk about Kiss Me. Boy, I love when it all happens in one day.
One full infomercial.
That was it. Man, I get kickbacks from everybody today. All right, Brooks. I'll split it with you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it.